I was up at 5 in the morning today because an owl woke me up. It was very loud in my yard, and I really wanted to see it because I've only seen an owl once in my life, and so I got dressed as quickly as I could, and I ran outside in what's probably 30 degrees Fahrenheit to go look for an owl, and I managed to find it. It was actually flying from a tree in my yard to somewhere else, and I did take off in a full sprint trying to chase after this owl so that I can see it for a longer period of time, but man, they're fast. Hey everybody, Nick from 9Card TCG. Today, I told you that whole little story about my very early morning because we're going to be playing Decidueye, and I planned on using Decidueye or playing this Decidueye deck anyway, and it happened to be very serendipitous that the morning of the day I'm going to film this video, I happened to hear and see an owl in my own backyard. It was very, very cool. It was a great horned owl. If anyone was interested, they are the best owls. And let's take a look at this deck. Decidueye is an owl. It's called Decidueye because owls often live in deciduous trees, and that's just a little fun fact for you. But it has the Deep Forest Camo ability, which prevents all damage done from attacks to this Pokemon from your opponent's Pokemon V and GX. Now here in the US, GX Pokemon have rotated from standard format, so we're really only worried about Pokemon V. Now, there are a couple of Pokemon that can go through this ability. When I mean by go through this ability, I mean they have attacks or effects that allow them to ignore the Deep Forest Camo ability. Something like Single Strike Urshifu VMAX, that is, has the GMAX 1 blow attack, which lets you ignore all effects and abilities on your opponent's Pokemon and deal damage. Something like Mew VMAX has an attack that lets it go through, I think, or Mew V, whatever, and Dragapult. Dragapult also has an attack that ignores abilities and effects. So there are things that can attack us, and a lot of decks have cards in them to handle Decidueye, but Decidueye is commonly ranked as one of the worst, or one of the I don't want to say it's the worst, but it's ranked poorly in competitive tier lists. And the reason for that is because of the stuff I just talked about, and also it just has a very low damage output. We're not really trying to take knockouts with Decidueye, we are really trying to stall our opponent out. And the way we're going to do that is by keeping Decidueye into the act. And how do we get our Decidueye set up because it is a stage 2 Pokemon? Well, we are using the Inteleon with Shady Dealings to help us find those consistency pieces like our Evolution Incense, like our Rare Candies, things that we need so that we can evolve into our Decidueye very, very quickly. Now, in order to set up our Inteleons and our Decidueyes, we of course are running things like Level Balls and also Quick Balls. We're also running Rescue Carrier. Rescue Carrier lets you put 2 Pokemon with 90 HP or less from your discard pile into your hand. Now this is going to be really important for if our Rowlets get knocked out because of a GMAX Rapid Flow or something like that, that we can go ahead and Rescue Carrier, put them back in our hand, and throw them back down on the bench so that we can evolve them eventually into Decidueye. Scoop Up Net is also something to help get things out of the active, and so that we can promote Decidueye into the active spot so that our opponent can't attack us. Now again, things like Rapid Flow and other bench sniping decks like Jolteon are another huge reason that this deck just kind of doesn't work right now, because unless you have only Decidueyes in the on your bench, your opponent can just kind of target down your Rowlets, your Dartrix, your Inteleons, whatever, and take prizes like that. So I'm not expecting this deck to do super well, but we can still try to steal a win or two. The rest of the deck is going to be very, very similar to every other deck that runs any type of stage 2 line, which is predominantly Inteleon. So we have our Energy Search, which, you know, whatever, Ordinary Rod to help get Decidueyes and Energies back into the deck. We do run 2 copies of Boss's Orders to help boss stall, Marnie to disrupt our opponent's hand and help us find the pieces. Only 2 copies of Research. We don't really want to discard a ton of stuff with this deck. A copy of Raihan so that when something is knocked out, we can attach an energy from the discard and then search our deck for any card we want. We also are running something like Telescopic Sight and Air Balloon just to help either maneuver or to do a little bit of extra damage to our opponent's Pokemon V when we hit with Splitting Shot. We didn't actually talk about Splitting Arrow, but 2 energy, a colorless, and a grass, 90 damage. Choose 2 of your opponent's Pokemon on the bench and deal 20 damage to them. We could be doing 50 with Telescopic Sight. So that's, you know, pretty much the deck. Let's see how it does. If this is your first time checking out the channel, thank you so much. I really appreciate you clicking it and giving it a try. If you like what you're seeing so far, don't be afraid to hit the subscribe button and bell notification so you never miss another video. We do win the coin flip here, which is really nice. We're playing an evolution deck, so we definitely want to go first. I guess we could start Rowlet. There's very few things that our opponent can do to knock us out first turn, so Rowlet doesn't seem like a bad option here. And they're playing Inteleon Obstagoon, so this is going to be single prize versus single prize. And we do have the advantage here because we are hitting them for weakness. And that's it. Now we could actually Bird Keeper so that we can use Sky Circus and we could ignore the energy requirement for Wing Shard or Wind Shard to do 60 damage to the bench, and just we wouldn't be able to take out the Obstagoon. So I'm not. It's not something that we really need to do, because, especially because weakness and resistance doesn't apply to the bench. So they're gonna go ahead and slap 20 damage down onto my active Rowlet, but it doesn't really matter because I have the Energy Search for this coming turn. Now, depending on what we top deck, we will be able to evolve into Drizzile. If we draw like an Evolution Incense, we just immediately get Decidueye. If we draw into a Turffield Stadium, we immediately get Decidueye. We get an Inteleon, not exactly what we want to see. So I'm going to go ahead and thin the deck out just a little bit. We're going to get a Grass. And now I kind of have to choose, do I want to commit to this active, or do I want to give myself some wiggle room here? If I attach to the bench, I won't be able to attack this turn. But if I attach to if I attach to the active and I miss a piece, excuse me, then I'm kind of in a bit of trouble here. So let's Drizzile first, see what's even in our deck. What do we prize? That's something that you always want to look at. So we have 3 Evolution Incense, 4 Rare Candies, 2 Turffield Stadiums, and 3 Inteleons. So we did not prize any of the stuff we really need. Now, I'm tempted to say, okay, let's get a Turffield Stadium. I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it. This might not be the right play. It's probably not the right play, but we do pull the Rare Candy, so we go ahead and get our Decidueye. Very, very nice. And we can choose our Decidueye here. And let's go ahead and do I want to Scoop Up Net? Yeah, we will. We'll go ahead and drop this down so we can use it next turn. And let's Splitting Arrow. Yeah, it seems fine, because we're going to take the knockout on their Obstagoons anyway. And we get a prize. We get a Grass Energy. Very nice prize, actually. Because now next turn we could set up this other Decidueye at least a little bit more. So they can go ahead, and if they do have the Drizzile, so who knows what's in their hand. But now next turn, providing they don't Marnie would be really unfortunate. We have a pretty solid hand. We don't really need to worry about Path to the Peak in this deck because their entire deck is single prizers. But Path to the Peak, we do run 2 copies of the shutdown, things like Zacian and Zamazenta, Genesect, things like that, from kind of digging through that deck to find the stuff they need to deal with our Decidueyes. So we do run 2 copies of Path. We don't need it. We'll probably hang on to it. So we'll see what they get. They need a Rare Candy, an Evolution Incense, the Obstagoon, and an Energy. They need 3 different pieces, and they miss all of them. So we're going to go ahead and get another Decidueye. We'll throw down this Grass Energy. And they didn't get what they needed, so I don't know if I want to... I'm going to get a Quick Ball, I think. Because I don't really need the Path. And I'd rather keep the Level Balls for something like Drizziles. And we'll get another Rowlet. And I kind of want to hang on to this Marnie. They didn't really do anything last turn, so I don't want to give them too much to do. Alright, another prize. A Sobble's a nice prize. Next turn we can Quick Shooting. We won't be able to take out this Drizzile, which is unfortunate. They did have the Drizzile. Another reason Marnie, I mean, the odds of them drawing into a Level Ball Evolution Incense or just a Drizzile is pretty good. There's the Evolution Incense, so I guess they have the Obstagoon in hand. So, I mean, all we need is an energy, and we run 10. And they're going with okay, so they're probably going for a Rare Candy, and another Evolution Incense is likely. So, double Evolution Incense, I guess they have a bunch of Rare Candies and stuff. So, maybe Marnie was the right move. I don't know. There's one Evolution Incense. There's the candy. Yeah, I mean, maybe it would have been fine to Marnie them. But again, all they needed to do is find a Drizzile or an Evolution Incense, and they could have done most of this anyway. Maybe they only would have gotten one instead of two, but it's fine. This will knock me out. They're going to Marnie me, which is fine, actually. Gives me a chance to see more stuff. And hopefully I can pull into a Raihan. That would be pretty cool. We get an energy, though. And we do get the Shady Dealing Inteleon. So we can go ahead and... yeah, this is kind of annoying. But they'll take the KO here. We can counter KO. That's fine. We're ahead on prizes. We get the Raihan this turn. Go ahead. We'll do this. Yes. We'll go Rare Candy. Raihan. Because I have another Decidueye in the deck. So now I can go here. We'll Rare Candy. We'll Raihan. We'll attach the energy. And we'll get a... we'll get a Drizzile, I guess. You know what? Let's see what's in my discard pile. We have one Rowlet in the discard pile, so I don't really want to use that Rescue Carrier just yet. So we have another energy for next turn. So let's go ahead and we'll just get a Drizzile for next turn. That's fine. And we'll, I guess it doesn't really matter too much where we put the damage. Because I'm not gonna take the KO on this Inteleon, and they're not gonna attack with it, so there's our Snorlax. We don't really need it at this point. We just have it for if we start the game with it. Cool, we can draw a fresh 7 cards after going through our deck. It gets knocked out. Well, that's fine. We use Raihan and start setting up. That's kind of the play with Snorlax. So they have the energy. They will go ahead and take the KO here because they're going to do 150 damage. That's fine. I don't want them to Marnie because I have the energy to attach to the Decidueye here, so it would be great if they didn't. They did use 2 of their Rare Candies. This might be number 3 coming, but we'll see what happens. We are very ahead in the prize race, and we still have something like a Rescue Carrier for when this gets knocked out. Now I can go ahead, Drizzile for Rescue Carrier to get 2 more Rowlets onto the bench. And I could Ordinary Rod to, you know, get the Decidueyes back into the deck. So we'll Drizzile 4. You know what, do? Maybe we will do the Rescue Carrier. We'll use it. And we'll throw him down. I'm only going to throw 1 down, though. I don't need the other one right this second. And let's go ahead and Marnie. We'll see. Okay, there's an energy. That's not bad. So now I can always search out with the other one. And, Splitting Arrow. So there we go. Man, we are doing all right. There's a Grass Energy. Not a bad prize. We don't run a ton of energy. We run 10. And we don't have a ton of search options for energies in this deck. So finding energies is never a bad thing. They might be going for another Lanoon, which means they probably don't have any rare candies. We can always go Dartrix next turn. So, and then it appears they'll get the Galarian Obstagoon and an energy. You don't want to see that. That's really bad for us. Because now I can't attack next turn. So I might have to just offer up the Shady Dealings Inteleon. Yeah, it's really bad. Because I think all 3 of my Decidueyes are in the discard pile. They are. So we're going to go ahead. We'll get our Dartrix. We'll evolve. We'll attach an energy. We will just throw the scope on. We try to want to reduce the number of cards in our hand. We don't have any more Sobbles. And we'll Marnie from here. Hope we get an Ordinary Rod. We don't, but we get the Research, which could be fine for next turn. And we're going to keep we're unfortunately going to have to keep the Air Balloon. They have a Sobble on the bench. They're really smart. They did not just immediately evolve all of their Sobbles, because when you do that, then you limit your options. But now they have that Sobble in the active, so they could just Drizzile for a boss's orders and attack my Dartrix. They're going to Scoop Up Net. They're going to Scoop Up Net the Zigzagoon, so they can ping it. And then, oh no, it's going to, yeah. They had the boss, so they didn't even need to do it. Man, we're in trouble. We are in trouble, because how many rare candies have we gone to? 3. We have 4. So now at least, yeah, we're in a bit of trouble here. We missed the Ordinary Rod. Yeah, we that's really all of our Sobbles. Do we not have any more Sobbles in the deck? We don't. We must have prized one, because I run 3, and there's 2 here, and there's none in the discard pile. So one of the Sobbles is prized. But we have the rare candy. I just need if I had the Ordinary Rod, this wouldn't have been as big of an issue, but they can still drop. They held on to that Zigzagoon so that they can ping the Rowlet, boss's orders, and then take the KO. Then there's really nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. We hit a little bit of a snag towards the end. We were doing super strong, but you know, that's just the way it goes. They are waiting to use that Inteleon. That Zigzagoon, I mean. We'll just Marnie. Now they don't have the Zigzagoon in their hand. We got a Scoop Up Net, which isn't terrible. Well, quick shooting first, I guess, right? Well, quick shooting here. And then we will Scoop Up Net you. And then we can throw this down so that we can find our Rare Candy. Actually, we have to find the Ordinary Rod. That's what we need. We have to find Ordinary Rod with Drizzile. So maybe I should have... It wouldn't matter. It's not gonna... I don't think this is gonna live. But yeah, this is one of the problems. We're also running super low on resources. We only have 8 cards left. They have the boss's orders to take the Sobble. They could have taken the Rowlet, and I would be really out of options. But I guess they're waiting. They only have 1 prize left anyway, so we do unfortunately lose this one because we don't have enough Decidueyes to get us going. Still can't find that Ordinary Rod. There's only, I mean, there was 8 cards. I drew 5 of them, so there were 3 left. So we'll just... Oh, I guess the Ordinary Rod's prized. I'm looking for something. Oh no, it's in the discard pile. So we do just lose. So we'll just let them take the win. There's really nothing I can do about it. We must have discarded the Ordinary Rod without me realizing. This is one of the things that you really should be paying attention to. What's in your discard pile, what is in your deck, what's prized. And when you're playing competitively, you go to like a regionals or something like that, you should be looking for, you should be taking notes as to what's in your prizes so that you don't have to guess like I am, like, oh, I'm pretty sure it's left in my deck, and then it's just not. So without Ordinary Rod, there's really nothing I could do. Even if I had Ordinary Rod, they probably had another Obstagoon anyway. They still had 2 Rare Candies. So yeah, we started strong, fizzled out pretty hard. You hate to see it, you really do. If they're going to take too long, I'm just going to concede. So I'm going to give them another 3 seconds to just attack and KO. They will win if they just attack. So, okay, I gave them a chance. They're just taking too long. That was a super long game, so we're going to do just one more to see how it goes. And that's unfortunately something that you'll see with the Decidueye, is that the games can be pretty long just because we're not taking knockouts very frequently because we don't do a lot of damage. We're kind of trying to stall our opponent or checkmate them to say there's nothing you can do, you just lose. But, you know, we unfortunately don't always get that. We do have a decent hand here. We can Sobble. We're going to go first. So we're going to actually level ball for a... We're going to level ball for a Rowlet. That's what we're going to do. Oh, we actually don't need to. They're not gonna take a KO. And they're going to concede. I guess they know something's coming. We're going to do one more game. These games can be pretty long because we're not taking knockouts. We are just trying to run our opponent out of resources and say checkmate. Just nothing you can do anymore. You just lose. We win the coin flip, which is really nice. And we have not a bad start. I would love to see an Energy or a Sobble or something like that. But I'm going to hang on to everything I got here. Maybe I throw down the Turffield. But for the most, that's it. That's all I'm really going to do. We might be playing against Rapid Strike Urshifu just based on the fighting coin and the fact that there's a Sobble on the bench. Or on the active spot. So there could be like a Rapid Strike Inteleon. They might just go Capacious Bucket. It could still be Rapid Strike Urshifu Melanie. That's still very much a possibility. This could be Ice Rider. We'll find out in a second. And it looks like because they attached to the Sobble, they're probably going to go keep calling. It's a Suicune deck. Okay. Suicune is not great, right? Because they just have so much damage potential that they can they can't attack our Decidueyes. So they go ahead and it is a Rapid Strike Urshifu, interesting. And they're going to keep calling. So they got rid of the Turffield Stadium. That's kind of what I was hoping they would do, was bump it with Tower of Waters. Typically, these Rapid Strike decks run 1 or 2 stadiums. So we might have been able to just say, okay, bye. Now we got the Evolution Incense. The Rare Candy. I only have 1 Pokemon to evolve, so don't ask me which Pokemon to evolve. And we can go ahead and research. We'll go ahead and throw down another Rowlet, just so that we can. And we'll pass it over. So now they can attack with Drizzile and Inteleon. That is an option, but it's not a very good one. So Gmax Rapid Flow doesn't help them. Their Pokemon V are just stuck there for the most part. And there comes a point where people will just start to scoop. So they are going to Melanie. They can't Melanie to their Sobbles. It has to be to a Pokemon V. And they could still attach. These decks tend not to run Rare Candies because they want to use the Drizzile. They don't want to skip over it. So we don't have to really worry about them jumping straight into Inteleon and starting to attack. And there comes a point where people will see this and they might just say, I concede. They might just give up. So I'll probably, depending on what draw supporter we find, I might just Boss's Orders their Urshifu into the active or their Suicune. I might not do the Suicune because they have a ability that they can draw cards. So they're going to Shady Dealings. Water Drip's only going to do 30 damage, so I'm not really worried if they decide that they want to attack with that. But they might just go ahead and start evolving all their Sobbles right now because they can't attack with their Vs. So they might want to start setting up their Inteleons for when this Drizzile gets knocked out, that they have something else ready to attack. So we'll see what they go ahead and start to do. I'll be able to, if I don't top deck a Rare Candy, I will be able to go ahead and go straight into, what are they doing? Okay. I guess they don't want that Drizzile getting knocked out. That's fine. I am very much going to knock it out. And they might just concede at this point. Actually, I'm not even gonna damage their Vs. I am just going to start taking out their Sobbles. That's the only thing that can hurt me. We get another Grass Energy, not a bad prize. So now there's no chance of them attacking this turn because Inteleon's attacks are 2 or 3 energies depending on which Inteleon they're talking about. So they probably won't evolve this one, right? They want to attach an energy to the bench so that, because this is going to get knocked out this turn. They could evolve it, but they're going to Melanie just to draw some extra cards and get options. They do evolve this one. That's fine. They can do that. They can quick shooting. They can put 2 damage counters onto my Inteleon or onto my Dartrix, whatever they decide. I wouldn't be surprised if once they see this other, oh, they have the Rapid Strike energy. That is right. They can attack with that. It'll still be a 2-shot. It's fine. I think once they see the other Decidueye, they might concede, but we'll see what happens. They're going to Ordinary Rod to get that Sobble and Drizzile back in the deck, or the 2 Drizziles. And the energy, why not? Can't hurt. They can't Melanie to, but they, they're going to quick shooting there. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Still going to be a 2-shot. They evolve into the VMAX just so I can't. It'll take forever for me to knock it out. Doesn't really matter too much. They already attached this turn. I think something like Crushing Hammers would be brutal in this deck. Drawing a Evolution Incense doesn't really help. So we'll just go there. And yeah, this is I don't know where all my Sobbles, my quick balls, all that kind of stuff. I need something, right? They're gonna start trying to place damage counters to make it just a one-shot instead of a two-shot, but unless they're able to throw down another Drizzile and attach, they're not gonna have. They're gonna scoop up net 1 so that they clear the damage. That's a good idea. So now it's fresh, and only this one will get knocked out, but not this turn, but later. Quick ball for a Crobat. They are really trying. They do not want to give this game up. And if I get an energy, they're going to be in serious trouble. Crobat for 2. I was thinking about putting Path to the Peak down. Maybe I should have, so they can't Fleet Foot and they can't use Dark Asset. I haven't played Decidueye. The last time when I built this deck, when I upgraded it rather, there was a lot of cards in here that have rotated. So a Research would be huge here, and Energy is just as good. Energy's just as good. We're gonna Path, so they can't do anything. We're gonna Splitting Arrow. And what do we get? We get a Decidueye. I mean, I don't need it right now, so they put the Suicune in the active. Path of the Peak is there, so they can't Fleet Foot unless they throw down a Tower of Waters. They might have it. Like I said, sometimes these decks do run 2 stadiums. There are a lot of lists that only run 1, so they might not be able to bump this Path. And I don't really need the Turffield to have the evolution and stuff, so they could be Drizziling for a whatever it's called, for a tower. It's an option, but I guess the only way to find out is to see what they do. I really need to get some more Pokemon on the bench. I don't understand where all of my stuff is. It would be lovely to see a Research. Quick ball, then, oh, maybe a quick ball for a Pumpkaboo. That would be interesting. For a Rapid Strike Urshifu, of all things. Okay. Smart, right? Now they're going to hedge their bets, depending on, maybe I draw a boss or something. A boss would be huge. There's the other Drizzile. So boss would not be as huge now. And this is what I'm talking about. Even decks that are primarily V decks can still deal with your Decidueyes because they run Inteleons and Rapid Strike Energies, and they're able to deal with it. It's so annoying that you can't even play Decidueye anymore of all the things, because everyone has ways of handling it. Because Inteleon has a double colorless attack, even if you're playing Inteleon in a Psychic deck in Dragapult, let's pretend you don't even want to use Dragapult, you can still just attack with ooh, we get a Capture Energy. Capture Energy's, I don't really want to attach it there, but I kind of don't have a choice. We'll go ahead and get a Sobble. And we'll Splitting Arrow here and here. Because at least now I can Evolution Incense, get a Drizzile, and get a Research or something. Marnie, the hand size is pretty big, so Marnie wouldn't be terrible. I do run 4 Marnies, so I'm not really sure where all of mine. I have 1 Marnie in the discard, so I have 3 left, 3 Research left. I do not know where they all are. Man, this Aqua Bolt would be really problematic. That would, I mean, I might just lose if they can get the Suicune out of the active, which they probably can, right? Switcher and Air Balloon is enough to do it. So I kind of have to hope that it's just prize. But yeah, I mean, this... God. They get the Marnie, they get the Telescopic Sight. I don't really know why they need the Scope, but... maybe they're going to Rapid Flow. Evolution Incense again. It's so annoying. These decks just I hate that you can't play Decidueye. I get it. It's not gonna win every tournament, but I should win something, right? I should be able to win a game with Decidueye. Maybe I would have been in a better spot if, you know, they attach to the Rapid Strike Inteleon. That's interesting. But who knows, if I was able to get more Decidueyes and stuff out onto the field, this entire game I've seen like no Pokemon. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna quick shooting and they just pass. They're gonna really try for that Yoga Loop. We'll go Quick Ball. Kind of don't want to do Quick Ball. We'll do this. Get Grass Energy. I don't want them to have as many cards. I don't like it. There. So we'll see what happens here. I might be able to get away with something. We'll see what happens. They're going for the Yoga Loop play, but I don't know how they'll get it. They can't get it this turn. Right, because they can put 2 damage counters on this that'll only be 40. So I'm not sure they're gonna pass. They're really gonna go for that Yoga Loop play. But if let's Capture Energy. We'll see what's in the deck. So I have 3 Rare Candies. So, and I have a Boss's Orders. So I can go ahead, Capture Energy. I think I'm going to fail it, because I don't want to put anything else on the bench. So I can get a Boss's Orders and a Rare Candy. And another Rare Candy. Right? I need... oh no, I can't do that. I can get the Boss's Orders and a Rare Candy. So we'll do that. We'll get the Rare Candy. There's the Rare Candy. And let's get Boss's Orders. We'll do this. We'll go here. This will have 200 health left. So we're gonna evolve this. Yes. And we're gonna get... we have one more quick shooting. So we're gonna get an Evolution Incense for next turn. And then we're going to... Boss's Orders this. That will do 150. Not enough though. Not enough to knock it out. Aqua Ball can still take me out. So we are gonna go ahead and take... we'll do this. Now they can't put 2 damage counters on me anymore. I get another prize. Drizzile a good prize to get, because now next turn I'll be able to take 2 prizes with the Suicune. Right? I can evolve into a quick shooting, take 2 prizes, see what I get, and then probably just knock this thing out. Even if they do just knock out this Decidueye, this one will just counter KO, and I can get my 2 prizes. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I got this game on lock. As long as they don't retreat into something else. But if they retreat into something else, then they can't attack. So they can't attach a Rapid Strike Energy here. And they already have 3 Water Energies in play. That's 4 Water Energies in play. I don't know how many more they're going to have. They can't Melanie to it, because they can't Melanie to a non-V Pokemon. So they have 6 cards left in deck as well, so they can't research. They are going to boss my other Decidueye. Not super sure why. And they concede. Yes! So there you have it. Decidueye, very, very long games. I apologize for how long this video ended up being. But with all that said, I mean, it's fine. You could take some wins. You just have to kind of get a little bit lucky. And you have to hope that you're able to set up and develop your Decidueyes very, very quickly. Overall, do I recommend this? Not really. We talked about for a bunch of reasons why. I'm trying to wrap this up really quickly. And yeah, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, share, all that fun stuff. And I'll see you next time.